Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys is the final and fourth movie in the Indiana Jones franchise until we get Indiana Jones 5, whenever that happens, the stupid freaking virus. We have Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, before we get into this review, I want to tell you guys something. If you've seen my other reviews, you know it, but I'm just going to say it here otherwise still. I love this movie. I have some issues with it, but I love this movie, just to give you a general feeling. There are movies I actually hate and really dislike, but I feel like this movie gets unwarranted hate. Kind of like how, I think like movies that everyone hates that I love, for example, like I said, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Crystal Skull, Cars 2, Thor 2, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the Lego Ninjago movie, the Lone Ranger, Dead Men Tell No Tales. There are so many movies everyone hates that I absolutely adore. And this is one of them. I really haven't seen this in a while. This is like, since I got my glasses, I haven't seen, so you know, whenever I do anything new with my glasses, it's like watching this crappy DVD in 4K quality because of these glasses. So watching it through new lens, so to speak, it really did help me, you know, it opened my eyes, because I love Raiders, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. I have some issues with them all. I don't think any of them are perfect, so go check them out, my reviews. But really, this movie, it might actually be my favorite Indiana Jones movie, and I don't know why people hate it. Again, I respect your opinion, but I like to respectfully disagree. I think this is a phenomenal movie. It's not perfect, but let's just say that Steven Spielberg, he did it again. He done it again. You know, he did a great job. Harrison Ford is still Indiana Jones, and he's awesome. You have Karen Allen is Marion Ravenwood. She's back. She does a great job. Shia LaBeouf, however you want to say it. He might be an a-hole in real life, but Mutt Williams, Indiana Jones' son in this movie, he does a great job. A lot of people said that he was annoying. I don't think he was. I think he was actually the best side character in any Indiana Jones movie. Short Round was funny. Willie was kind of annoying, but they were there for reasons. I actually really enjoyed Willie Scott as a character. She wasn't that annoying. She was okay, but she was mainly just comic relief, and I really enjoyed that. You have Brody and you know, Solid, and they're all fine, but Mutt Williams, in my opinion, is the best side character in any of the Indiana Jones movies. He's funny at times. He's a good character. He has great progression for the plot and for Indiana Jones. He has great, I don't know how to word it, characterization and stuff like that when he talks to his dad. You know, kind of like how Indiana Jones and Henry Sr. talked to him in The Last Crusade. It's the same thing here. It's really cool. He has good dialogue. He has good meaning to the plot. I think Mutt is a great character. Of course, you have Spalko, Irina Spalko, who is Galadriel in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, which is pretty cool. And I think she was in Shadow of Mordor. I don't know if she was voiced by Cate Blanchett, but she was in there. Who else do you have here? You have Jarnze, freaking Mac. You know, the character in basically what I'm trying to say is that the roster of characters is very strong and very well done in this movie. I think every actor does a great job. I think the dialogue is pretty much great. I never really saw it and was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Maybe there's one scene toward the end when Mac dies in the UFO area, and he's kind of like, you know, he's like, Mac, damn it, now! And Mac's like, yo, big hold on, and he flips out, you know. I don't like that scene. My same thing with Temple of Doom, when Willie goes, wah! You know, on the bridge. I think him saying, "Oh, be alright, James," with like a wink. It didn't work, because Mac is like a triple, quadruple agent, so it doesn't really work when he's, you know, screw you, Indy, and he's like, oh, James, you know, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, be alright, man. It's like, no one cares, you know what I mean? He's a good character, and, okay, I did care about him because he was interesting, but that line delivery, the way the guy who played Max said, "Oh, be alright, Jonesy," it's just like, we're supposed to care. It's like when Luke Skywalker died, or when freaking, I don't know, the one dinosaur in Jurassic World 2 died on Isla Nublar. You know, it's like we don't care that much. You know, we care, but not that much. And for him to say that, the way he said it just kind of annoyed me. But other than that, the dialogue's pretty much fine. A lot of people had an issue with, apparently, the alien theme. I think it was great, because you get stuff like The Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, when you have, you know, Christian artifacts like the cup from the Last Supper and the Ark of the Covenant, and then you have those 3 Mayan whatever stones in Temple of Doom. Now, I'm a Christian. I'm just going to say that. I do believe in God and in Jesus Christ and all that, and maybe that's why I don't care so much, but if you don't believe in God, maybe you'll just think it's, like, I don't believe in those stones, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say it's stupid plot, it's just whatever, so they like to take on different things, and of course most people are Christian, so that's why they chose those two. But with this one, with aliens, think about the time. This is in, like, what, the late 50s? Of course, the biggest thing in the freaking world was aliens. Saucermen from Mars. I saw an alien. I saw a UFO. A bunch of drunk hickeys saying, "Oh, UFO guy." You know what I mean? It's what the thing was back then. So during the 30s and 20s, whenever the original trilogy, I guess, took place, that was during that time period. Yeah, they were all shot in the 80s and 2008. But when the movies take place, that paranormal stuff makes sense for that time period. And aliens made sense for the time period of Crystal Skull. So I had no problem with it. I thought it was really damn cool that they were able to get aliens. And yeah, it's a bit far-fetched. This is by far the most far-fetched thing. You have people's faces melting and I guess heart removing people and freaking, you turning old and decrepit, and then you have aliens. So when you really think about it, it's not really that different. But going forward with this whole alien thing, I think it was great. I think they did a really good job with the CGI for that alien, at least, during that big room with all the Crystal Skull guys, I don't know, I enjoyed it. Spalko as a character, I think she's a great, intimidating villain. A lot of people probably had issues because she was a girl. I think boys and girls are equal for the most part. I mean, me, I'm not like some kind of feminist weirdo. I'm just gonna, whatever, God made us the same kind of shit. That's what I believe. But still, with this going forward, I think Spalko is not the... See, I don't know. This is tough, because I don't think Indiana Jones has a great villain. I mean, they're good. I think Belloc was good. Mulder Rhyme was okay. Donovan was kind of poor. I think, honestly, Spalko might be my favorite villain. I think she's a good motive with the whole alien thing. I think she's very intimidating. She's good with her rapier, or her napier, whatever the heck you want to call it. Her sword. I think her downfall isn't as graphic. Her face didn't explode into, gory cat food like Raiders, but, it is what it is. I think it was pretty cool nonetheless, and I think she did a good job playing Spalko. Of course, Dovchenko, who is that guy who gets killed by the ants in his mouth. Fun fact about me, I don't mind ants, but when you have a giant-ass cluster of ants, like, you know what I'm saying, like the big clunches, or clunks of them, I freak the heck out. Like, whenever my future girlfriend or wife is like, "Hey, why the hell are you freaking out over ants?" I'm going to show her this movie, and I think this is what did me in. The ants crawling in the dude's mouth, and just all those red, big damn ants, as he called them, those ants everywhere. I think that's why I don't mind ants, but when they're in like that big clunk or, circle, and they're all hairy looking, no, I'm effing out, man, I'm done. That's just me. Maybe this is what did me in, I don't know. But it was a good scene, it just screwed me over. But, like I was saying, I think like I said, the aliens were a thing. The CGI in this movie is my biggest negative. I do think that for a 2008 movie, the same as Iron Man, I think that they should have spent more time on the CGI, especially. The ants are fine, the skeletons are fine. I think there's a lot of... mainly because I think the CGI stands out so poorly in Crystal Skull is because the first three movies didn't really rely on CGI. They were in the desert, and they were in snowy environments, and they were in Egypt or wherever the heck they were. They were in, for the most part, real-life locations, and that really showed. And then in this one, there's a scene in the very beginning when Dovchenko and his Russian goons are, Dovchenko ties his freaking shoe, and they shoot everyone, And I don't know what it is with Steven Spielberg. They have it in, like, every movie. They have it in freaking Tintin. Whenever someone dies, they go, "Wah! Wah!" They have, like, this really, like, girly, wimpy scream. It's not like, "Ugh!" It's like, "Wah!" They flip out. Listen for it. Watch any of these movies, or Tintin, or even Jurassic Park, probably. You'll hear that scream. It's really annoying. It's like there's a scene in Tintin where he shines a light in Alan's henchmen, if you remember, if you saw the Tintin movie, and, like, they get blinded, but the noise they make, it's like they're getting stabbed in the face. They're like, "Wah!" It's really annoying and weird. And it's in this movie, too. But back to that scene when Dovchenko, kills everyone. You can tell they're in front of a CGI. And maybe they're not in front of a CGI, but maybe they really are in the desert or something. But the way it's shot and the way it looks, the way the Russians and Dovchenko and everyone, they're all outlined, it really, really looks like CGI. And it's not horrible CGI. People think it's horrible because the original trilogies didn't have that much of it. And that is the truth. It's not that bad. But it does stand out, and I even notice it, because, again, the first 3 are so heavily reliant on real-life locations. It does show. It's not bad, though. I think there is some bad... Open the DVD. I think there is some bad CGI in some cases. I don't really remember exactly, because I watched it like a week ago, but there are some areas where I'm like, oh, that's really bad, you know? Especially the end scene where the UFO takes off, and it's that big long shot. That is effing cool. That's beautiful. But the other shots are just kind of, you know, there's a few where you're like, okay, that background's fake, or that monkey is fake, or that whatever's fake. The whole scene when Mutt is in the jungle, I think it's a great scene. The action scenes in this movie are by far the best in any of the Indiana Jones movies. You can't change my mind. This is the best action scenes. The scene when they're in the jungle and the freaking Marion opens the car door and the AK-47 goes like to the screen. I mean, it's just so cool, you know? Yeah, it was CGI, but it looked cool, you know? The scene when Mutt is fighting with Spalko and he's getting hit in the crotch with the vines, and it's funny, it's action-packed, it's tense. That scene where they clash swords, it's like lightsabers. It's really, really cool stuff. And then, of course, you get the scene that everyone despises and craps on when he's swinging with the monkeys. I didn't mind that scene. I thought it was kind of inventive and kind of funny. It was Indiana Jones style of clever. I think when you really think about it, I mean, yeah, Indiana Jones, he survived the wrath of God multiple times. He jumped out of a goddamn airplane with a freaking raft. He survived a nuke in a fridge. Yeah, it's all bullcrap. Because it's a movie. It's Indiana Jones. You know, you don't play Uncharted or Tomb Raider or watch Tintin and go, oh, that wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. People are just biatching for no reason. It's Indiana Jones. It's not supposed to be real life. That's why they got aliens and crap, you know? Now, I know I'm Christian. I believe in God, so that stuff is real. But, you know, aliens, I don't think are real. But still, you know, you do get that sense of, oh, that couldn't happen or that wouldn't happen. But it's a movie. It's just dumb, fun action, you know? So for him to survive a nuke fridge or, you know, Mutt swinging out some vines, it makes sense within the lore. Not really in our real-life world, but in this movie's world, it makes a whole lot of sense. And it's a fun scene. Yeah, the CGI can be a little bit rough at times, but in 2008, you know, what are they going to do? But really, the CGI is my biggest negative with this movie. I love the writing. I love the action. This is, when I think that The Last Crusade had too much comedy, this movie feels like Indiana Jones comedy. It's not too much, and when they have it, it's not overbearing, and it works. Just like Raiders and just like the Temple of Doom. Last Crusade has some comedy that works. Again, go see my review on that, but it's just, it's too much shoving down your throat. Here, we're funny! You know what I mean? This movie is just the right amount of funny. So really, I love the action scenes. I love the writing. I love the set pieces. I think that, you know, the motorcycle chase and, you know, everything is awesome. This is also the most mature Indiana Jones movie. That scene when Indiana Jones even tells his buddy, Brody passed away and so did his father, sadly, and he's remembering him looking at a picture of his dad. And it's a great scene because it shows the audience that Indiana Jones is kind of like his dad now in terms of age, and he's reflecting on that. Yeah, you know, last time we saw Indy in Last Crusade, he was like mid-30s, and now he's like 20 years older, and he's about 60 or 58, you know, something like that. And, you know, he's not like a crotchety old freaking geezer with a, you know, cane like Master Wu or something, no. But he is older, and the fact that he's reflecting on his father figure, Brody, and his actual father that passed away, it's taken a toll on him, and I think it's a really great scene to show the audience that, yeah, this is a movie about crazy stuff and dumb action and funny moments and awesome set pieces, but Crystal Skull is the first movie that I've seen out of the 4 where it's like, you know, you're watching it and you're like, oh wow, this is a serious moment for once. You know, yeah, there's some heart in Last Crusade. Yeah, there's a few heart moments in Temple of Doom. And there's a lot of heart in this one too with Mutt, especially when Indiana Jones finds out it's Mutt. It's literally him and his dad again, you know, with Mutt in here. It's a great stuff here. So like I said, this movie gets unnecessary hate big time. I adore this movie. I really do. I honestly think it's my favorite out of all 4 movies. I'm probably committing sacrilege, but hey, it's my opinion. Suck it up and deal with it. Like I said, if you have a different opinion, I respect that, but I have to disagree and think that this is a great movie. A lot of people, oh, it's not Indiana Jones. It doesn't feel like, it feels like Indiana Jones to me. Everything about it. I feel like The Last Crusade didn't feel like Indiana Jones because they were shoving that comedy down your throat the whole time. You know, this movie had the right amount of everything. Action, comedy, drama, you know, great scenes. Yeah, the CGI could be a little bit rough in places, but I'm really expecting Indiana Jones 5, if and when that ever happens, that the CGI will be top tier because really it's a Disney franchise now, and Disney, yeah, the MCU has some pretty crappy moments, but the Disney Star Wars movies have beautiful CGI. There is not one moment in the sequel trilogy or Rogue One Solo that I looked at it and I go, or Mandalorian even, and I looked at it and I go, wow, that looked really bad. You know, Disney Star Wars is killing it with CGI. Marvel, not so much, but Indiana Jones 5 under Disney will be perfect looking, I can assure you. So yeah, the CGI was a bit of an issue in this movie. Not terrible, but it does stand out. But otherwise, I love this film, man. The action is great. The acting is great. The writing is great. Except for that, "Oh, be alright, Jonesy." That just, it didn't work for me there. I didn't care that much. But still, I think that it's honestly a great movie. I think the whole nuke surviving thing. Again, he's done plenty of crazy crap like that, so it's not like the first time, you know. And fun fact, that nuke town, not from Black Ops, but the nuke town area and the whole fridge thing was actually, I believe, supposed to be in The Last Crusade, and they cut it out. So really, Steven did not pull it out of his butt and be like, "Hey, well, you put him in a fridge." You know, it didn't work like that. They had it planned for a past film, and it finally got to, you know, be kind of shown in this film, Crystal Skull. So I really enjoyed this movie. Tell me what you think about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Kingdom of the Pringle Skull. What is your favorite Indiana Jones movie out of all four? Personally, I'm going to have to go with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's not a perfect movie, and I'm going to give it an A, just like The Last Crusade and the first film. The worst one that I reviewed was Temple of Doom. Again, go watch that. None of these movies are bad. It's just looking at them through a critic's eye, my critic eye, it's not perfect. So none of these films are an A+ for me. Sadly, I really wanted one of them to be, but upon reviewing them, they're amazing movies, don't get me wrong, but they're not perfect. They're just shy of perfection. Hopefully Indiana Jones 5 will be perfect. I had a blast reviewing these movies and watching them. They're so much fun. Please again tell me what your favorite Indiana Jones film is. Are you excited for Indiana Jones 5 whenever that will be coming out? Again, my favorite has to be Crystal Skull, man. I really dig that movie. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.